Hey, and welcome to my journey. I did not plan on coming to you again today. The Dollar Tree and thrift haul was going to be all I put up today, but some things have transpired, some things have been on my mind, and I thought, you know what, I just feel like coming to talk to y'all, if that is okay. I can talk to David, but he's not y'all. He don't get it quite like y'all do. I mean, he does, but he doesn't. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I have declared today is Friday is for fighting. The weekend is here. Well, this is what had happened. That's what I like to say around here. I'm like, what had happened was. So I'm off this morning trying to find a new set of plastic drawers. I have these ones over here that they're brown and they're plastic, hard plastic, and they look like basket weave on the front. And I got them from Big Lots many years ago. Well, that's what I have sitting over here. That's what I have my toiletry items in, and my little makeup mirror, that kind of stuff. And about 4 years ago, whenever they were fixing that, might have been longer than 4 years, to be honest. It was longer than 4 years. It was before the porch. We had people come and fix some sheetrock, and they picked it up and moved it. And ever since they did that, I don't know what happened to it, but the bottom drawer would not go in. So I've been living with it. Well, now the third drawer is 4 drawers. The third one, it won't go all the way in. Now the top 2 are wanting to stick. And I told David, I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit here with all 4 of my drawers just hanging out. Well, my drawers hanging out. Stop. So I went to Big Lots to try to find another one just like it. Apparently they don't make them, because I went to my Big Lots, down to the other Big Lots, which had nothing. Their plastic drawer section was like not even there. Then I come back to mine, and I found one that I'll make it work. It ain't what I wanted, and it's not as big, so I had to get rid of some stuff, which is probably not a bad thing. But anyway, when I was down at the other one, I get texts with my prescription already. Or if there's like a problem, if they're doing something, they send me these little texts. Well, y'all know I'm on that Ozempic. I finished my first pen yesterday. So I told the doctor, she said, let her know when I get through that I need more. So she sent it in, because my doctor, I'm going to tell you, she's on it. If you message her, you can just about turn around and look back and she has responded. She's that good. She really is. If she's not in with the patient, she is checking her messages and sending in prescriptions and doing. It's not like the old days of waiting till the end of the day. Remember those days? You'd have to wait till the end of the day to get a prescription sent in, or to have a doctor look at something, or talk to somebody like that. Anyway, it said there was a problem getting the pen. So I sat in the Big Lots parking lot and called, and the pharmacist, she answered the phone, and she's like, which one do you need? Because, I mean, she knows me. So I told her, and she explained to me why it was denied. I don't even understand it. So I messaged my doctor. I'm like, well, we've hit a snag, another snag. Insurance is denying it because of this reason. Which David, he said, what does that mean? I'm like, I don't know. I said, maybe the pen, and she also told me, she goes, well, the pen only does 1 milliliter. I keep calling them milligrams, but they're milliliters because they're liquid. And I still have 2 more doses of the half milliliter, right? And she goes, this pen only does 1. It doesn't dial down. So she said maybe she could send in the one that, dials down, and maybe that'll change their mind. So I told her that. And she messaged me back. She goes, well, why is it so-and-so? She said, that's not right. They approved it last time. I'm like, I know. So we'll finish that story in a minute. So I get through with that Big Lots, come back up to my Big Lots, go in, I find my little shelf, my little drawers. Got some cute Halloween stuff. Yes. Maybe I'll show you at the end of this video. If I can remember when I get through talking, I'll show you what I got. Yes, Halloween's out. You heard that. Halloween and all the fall stuff. They got rows of that stuff. Yeah. Anyway, Listen, the little boy at the cash register, he said, it's not spooky season yet. I'm like, yeah, but when it comes out on the shelf, if you don't get it now, when it comes out, you don't get it. So that's why I got it. So right across the street from my Big Lots is Cookout. Raise your hand if you know what I get at Cookout. Did you say milkshake? Yes, that's where I get my milkshakes. My chocolate milkshake with my Reese's cups in it. I was sitting there. I was hungry, first of all, because my breakfast wasn't good. I mean, my breakfast tasted good, but it was not feeling. I contemplated going across the street and getting a milkshake. And I sit there and I'm like, oh my gosh, my mouth was so dry, because you know how it's been to getting. And I was hungry. And when I get hungry, I don't always make the best decisions. Do y'all? If y'all get really hungry, do y'all make the best decisions all the time? No, I don't. And I sit in that parking lot and I said, okay, I'll get David his pineapple banana he likes. And I'll get my chocolate one. And I sit there and I'm like, no. First of all, what if they don't approve Ozempic and you're off of it? And what if your loss last week was Ozempic and you don't have that to fall back on? If you make a mistake, you've got to do the best you can do. You can't slip and slide. So I turned it down. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I said to myself, besides, you have a healthier milkshake on your menu for Saturday. That's tomorrow. I think I can wait a day for a milkshake. I mean, I hate to think I am so, what's the word I'm looking for? Spontaneous. Maybe that's the word. Not spontaneous. There's the word I'm looking for. That I can't just hold off one day for a milkshake. Is it going to be the one I want? No. Is it going to be something that will satisfy that urge? I'm thinking so. I'm thinking it will. So I'm like, you can not get that milkshake because you're going to have one on Saturday. There's where my plan came in. Doing something, which I already have Takeout Saturday. That's what my Saturdays are called, Takeout Saturday, where I try to make a meal that is a takeout meal that we eat at home. And you know, my plan, oh gosh, you know what? I forgot I didn't comb my hair this morning. When I started scratching, I realized there's something poking up. I went to Big Lots like that. I didn't care. I don't care. Listen, y'all don't care what I look like. If you do, you wouldn't be looking. Because ain't nothing to see here. Move along. So I got that frozen pizza and them french fries and that milkshake. And I think that will do me. It will be easy for me to fix. Since supper will be so easy to fix, the milkshake, I'll have more energy to make the milkshake. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, I did cook this meal and now I'm tired. Go get a milkshake. That's a strong possibility of what will happen, because it has happened numerous times in the past. So anyway, I'm sitting over there I get home, and me and David are sitting over there, and we're cutting up and laughing and eating lunch and just having a good old time. And we were talking about my shot. I said, can you believe my leg is still sore? He goes, maybe you just hit that muscle wrong or something. I'm like, I must have. So I went over and showed him. I'm like, can you see what? He said, yeah, he sees the bruise, he sees the red spot, and he sees the little teeny red spot from last week. I said, can you think there's that? I mean, there's like that much far apart. Would that make that much a difference in a muscle? Big as my leg is, the muscle has to be all the way down the front, so I can't figure out what happened. Well, I was told him, I said, I wish I hadn't have thrown away my other pen, because I have never showed him how small the needles are. I just told him, but he's never home when I give myself the shot, and I already throw it away before he gets home. And then I don't think about it. I could fish it out of the trash can if I want to. So I pulled the thing off of my one of my Lancettes to check my blood sugar. I said, it's pretty much like that, even though it hurts more in here, because like the doctor said, there's more nerves in here. So that's why it hurts more here than it does down here. he said, well, you said it was small. I said it was. So I went over and I showed him. He's like, well, yeah, I can see right there where you put it. He goes, it's kind of, and he's rubbing his hand around it and looking and everything. He says, I can see where it's blue. And he said, did you hit maybe a vein? I'm like, I don't know. He goes, well, there's a vein because I got white legs. Let me tell you, my skin is pale. He said, well, there's a vein for sure. I'm like, yeah, that for sure. So then I started talking. I'm like, you see all, because my legs are bumpy with fat. They just are. They're disgusting. They're not smooth fat. They're like that. It's not cellulite fat. It's just big bumps. Does that make sense? I'm describing to you my legs that I will never show you. You can picture in your head, if you will. Sophia Petrillo, picture it. Don't. I didn't mean to slurp that. So I start telling him, I'm like, yeah, I said, now when I lose weight, I said, all this right here is just going to be saggy skin because my legs are so big. There is no way for this much fat to leave my legs and not have a ton of saggy skin on my legs. I'm looking forward to losing weight, but I'm not looking forward to legs hanging with skin. I said, I've already got a big part hanging up here, like at the top, where I've already lost, and I said, almost 70 pounds. And it hit me. It standing right there in the kitchen talking to David, it hit me. I said, honey, I've lost 68 pounds. 68 pounds. I said, I used to have 68 more pounds on this body. I'm like, where was it? I said, as big as I am now, oh my gosh, how big was I 68 pounds ago? I was pushing 400. He don't know that. Never have told him that. Not going to tell him that. Told him I would let him know after I lost the weight how much I lost. But until then, I just don't want him to know because I weigh twice as much as he does, and he's 6'2" and a man. That's not cool. So I was just floored. I'm like, how did I get around with 68 pounds? I'm like, imagine the way I drag my legs around now with 68 pounds on my back. I couldn't move. There'd be no way under the shining sun I could move. He's like, yeah, he said, get you a 68 pound barbell, pick it up. I'm like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't pick up anything 68 pounds. I couldn't pick it up. I hardly pick up 20 pounds. So it just floored me that I've actually lost that much weight, and it floored me of how big I used to be. I was just, oh my gosh. Probably not today I'm going to dig out a picture, but I got some pictures. If you saw me, and some ways I feel like I still look that big. And I'm like, if I think I look that big now, why didn't I know I looked that big then when I was that big? Does that make a lick of sense? I told him, I'm like, when you're that big, you don't realize it. It's like you don't see it. And then now that I've lost it, I'm like, oh my gosh. And so then I'm like, you know what? I got to go in here and talk about this. Well, before we finish talking about it, in the meantime, he goes on over there to watch his blah blah shows, car shows. And I put my medicine together. I put my week's worth of medicine together. I didn't get it done last night, which I very rarely do. Didn't get it done this morning because I forgot. And then I went to take my medicine. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to put my medicine together. So I'm sitting there putting my medicine together. I get it all fixed. I had 2 prescriptions that ran out. So I have one zip bag that keeps all my prescriptions. Then I have one other little bag that keeps like overflow. Because some of my prescriptions that come 90 days, they won't all fit in one bottle because they're bigger pills. So I put them in my little overflow bag. That way when I run out, I'll know to look over there. Well, I go to look for one of those prescriptions, and guess what? There's my second Ozempic pen. There's another kind of moment. when I got it filled, I got 2 pens instead of 1. And I didn't remember that. I didn't remember that a bit more than the man in the moon. So I got my Ozempic, at least for another 2 shots. So I had to write my doctor back. I'm like, OMG. I said, I messed up. I said, I'm dense. I said, I found my other pen. I said, but do you want me to, like, there's 2 milliliters in a pen. So if I have to take 2 halves, that leaves a milliliter. But it will only dial 0.25 or 0.5. So I'm like, do you want me to take 2 0.5 shots at the same time, or just wait and get a new prescription for 1 milliliter? So I'm just waiting to hear back from that, if insurance will cover it. So at least have it for 2 more weeks to my not. Well, I can take 2 more weeks of 0.5s. I don't have to go straight to 1. So I at least have it for 4 more weeks. Whether it's working or not, I don't know. They say it works at higher doses, but if it worked at this dose, that'd be fine too. So anyway, we're fighting. We are all about y'all. Who is with me? Let me see. Let me see some girl power. We are fighting because the weekend is here. And who else has trouble with the weekend? I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one whose downfall is the weekend. No. If David, if he worked, let's say he worked the weekend, he was off Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday would be my downfall, because that would be the 2 days we're together. And when we're together, we just want to enjoy ourselves, and enjoying ourselves, a lot of that equals what we're going to eat. What are we going to eat? What do you want? I don't know. What do you want? And then we get something. That's how we've always been, and it's a hard habit to break when that's the way you've been your whole relationship. Now, when the kids were home, not so much, because I scraped and scrimped every little penny that come in and stretched it as far as I could stretch it. And we would eat out for special occasions and for treats. And then as they got older, we started sliding, eating out a little bit more. And then especially when they left the nest and it was just us, we really, really went off the rails eating out, because we're like, empty nest. We'll just eat out all the time if we want to. So y'all, I'm declaring Friday is for fighting, because I am going to fight my way through this. I am going to fight my way through this. We are not going to let this beat us. Even if the weekend is not your problem area, whatever your problem area is, don't let it beat you. Rise above it. Find the strength somewhere. Dig down deep and pull it up. And we got this. That's all I was going to talk to y'all about today. So I'll try not to make this too long. I never look down there and see how long I've talked, so I'm not looking down there now. All right, well, hang on. I'm going to go get you my Halloween things. Hold on. Okay, at the first one, they had different things. They had the same things at both, but then the second one had extra stuff the first one didn't have. But at the first one, I found this. It's got just a plain black check one on the back. Which, please. Oh, they're nice thick towels, too. Then at the second one, surprise, surprise. Y'all know I could not resist. You know me. And then this with the witch's hat. Let's get spooky. Isn't that cute? These are her spell books. I love it. So those are the little Halloween things I bought. So as we were saying before, Friday's for fighting. Go out and slay it. Slay it. Okay. See you on the next video.